There's a trail that leads out of Leadville, Colorado, raised like a railroad on high banks. It leads to what remains of Oro City, a true 1860s-era ghost town from the gold rush days. But if you're up for it, there's another site further up into the hills. So, little remains, there are no recent published maps that mark it. You have to leave the trail entirely and trek through the pines for a mile or so. The hills close in on either side for a stretch, but eventually they pull away to reveal an even smaller valley with a little creek bed winding through. The folk who once lived here called the place Shirlytown. Hikers have returned to Leadville reporting a sense of someone else's despair falling across their shoulders, of someone else's anger driving them to hostility against comrades or family. Usually, a haunted site draws curious visitors that feed the local economy. Shirlytown is pushed away into the closeted woods like a demented, shit-soiled grandparent kept in the attic. Only a very few have explored the vanished town long enough to take note of a certain pile of stones in what must have been the main thoroughfare narrator. But a closer inspection will lead you to think great care and much time was taken in selecting the rocks heaped here. Although they vary in size, the stones all seem to have one particular thing in common: a side that bears a striking resemblance to a human face. Most curious of all, no matter how detailed and accurate the other facial features are, the eyes are always a pair of X's. Back in Leadville, there are those who've lived long enough to recall tales once told about Shirlytown. Put the shards together and a cohesive story starts to emerge not found in any of the books of local history or folklore. It was a story of violence that led to such ghosts' existence, of events that would leave an evil stain on an obscure scrap of valley still not fully cleansed. But there are ghost stories, and then there are the events that shred the walls of life with such brutality that hell can be glimpsed between the torn lines. You must look at this valley differently than you did before. Do the pines seem to lean in and over the place, and the tall grass shiver a little too closely? You may have random, uninvited thoughts like, what did the doctor do with the girl's hands? Is there still a hole in the ground nearby where the bones of